I'm George Eagle. Welcome back to the GOVERNHR YouTube channel. First of all, a shout out and a thank you to those who gave the time to make comments in regards to the performance management video from last week. So I appreciate the feedback and I appreciate your inputs. I certainly would like to hear more from people who have got a performance management approach that works, they feel works, or some of the challenges that you face, because it's all about learning and certainly we don't have all the answers, and it's a collaborative effort across the board. So please drop me a line if you have anything on that. Now today the video is going to be about HR structure, the structure of your organisation, your HR organisation within your organisation. Now when we look at HR structures and restructuring, more often than not it comes with a negative connotation around costs. Now of course costs can be a reason to restructure your HR organisation. From experience, we've been able to achieve 30% cost reduction for an HR function by restructuring without compromising the quality, and then that's in the past. I mean, each organisation is different. Each organisation may have more flexibility, more duplication, etc. So we could look at that. But the other reason is compliance from a regulatory perspective, where you have a need for segregation of duties, internal controls, 4I processes, etc., where of course HR sits in the key risk approach, 3 lines of defence. We sit as a second line of defence control function, right? So if parts of your HR function move into the first line of defence, such as business partners, business advisors, etc., you have significant issues that you need to relook at that, and you need to refocus the risk and control aspects of that. Now that could require a restructure of your existing organisation. There are other things such as disruptors like technology, where they begin to disintermediate certain HR functions from certain processes. You'd need to look at your HR structure again from that. If you were to outsource or if you were to offshore or to nearshore, etc., that too will require a review of your structure and possibly some changes there. The other one is regulatory. Now some jurisdictions, particularly here in the Asia Pacific region, demand local controls over individuals. So whereas you can have a global reporting line or a regional reporting line or a reporting line to another country, they require you to have local reporting lines as well. And again, you know, your HR structure needs to be adapted to meet those requirements. Now, in our travels, I mean, we've seen certain restructures, HR restructures that, quite frankly, are, you know, you ask the question, and the reason for implementing them is because. Now, that's not the right answer. And you find with those types of restructurings, they always come back to bite you, and you always go back to square one, and you're doing them, causing massive disruption to the organisation, and then you're undoing them, creating more pain and angst and disruption to the organisation, and you're also losing the confidence of the staff. People begin to wonder whether or not HR management know what they're doing. So very important for you to have a plan. Now, before any restructure is implemented or is kicked off, you need to look at what the objective is. What's the reason for this? And it could have been one of the ones that I'd mentioned earlier on. And then what is the end state required to look like? Or more than required to look like, what is it meant to be able to achieve? So you've got your objectives. What are we going to do? What are we going to change? What are we going to move to be able to achieve those end goals? Now, again, looking at failed restructures, I mean, some organizations will simply change the name of a function, but the function will remain as is. The people will remain as is. Their day-to-day tasks remain as is. But they all get new business cards because the name of their function changes. Now that's not a restructuring, that's fluff, and people see through that. Eventually people see through that. And you see that happens when there is a struggling HR structure, a struggling HR management, looking for possibly distraction. They're under pressure. They're not delivering what they're supposed to be delivering to the broader organization. So to create the smoke screen and to buy some more time, they implement a restructure. And you know, that comes out in the wash and you know, ends in tears, and they end up changing management. And that's how it always ends. Sometimes not the first time, maybe the second time, but it always ends that way. Now, when changing structures of an organization, you need to ensure that you meet the internal controls across the organizational landscape, that you don't compromise the key services, the key deliverables that you are meant to be managing and administering for the organization. You need to make sure that your organizational structure, your HR objectives remain in line with the broader organization. You can't be on a path that way when the organization is heading that way. You need to be with the organization, be able to influence the organization, be able to work with the organization to achieve its end means. And when we say end means, it's an ongoing process of reevaluating. Now, once you've come up with the structure you need, there are many different angles you need to look at. The second one, you know, obviously the first one's your internal reg. You need to look from compliance perspective, from a local, regional, global perspective. You need to look at things like transfer pricing. So if you're going to move a significant component of your function offshore, there is a recharge effect, there's tax issues, so you need to work with your tax people, you need to work with your legal people, compliance, and with finance. It's important. The other thing then is to be able to bring the budgets forward from the previous structure into the new structure, so people can still be measured from a financial perspective. With that comes the management structure. You need to relook at that management structure. Are we too layered? Do we have a too deep management structure? Do we have a top-down chain of command, a bottom-up? Is it regionally managed? Is it globally managed? Is it locally managed? You need to look at all those aspects of it. Now, clearly there's not enough time to go through all the fundamentals to a successful restructure of your HR organization. And let's face it, all HR structures need to be tweaked from time to time. You cannot be static and continue to be evolving with the organization. You need to be constantly changing, evolving to face external threats, to take advantage of opportunities that are coming towards you, and to also harness the skills within your organization to best deliver the HR strategy to suit the organization. Now, at GOVERNHR, we've had extensive experience. We've been able to restructure organizational HR functions to reduce costs significantly, to reduce risk, improve quality, remove layers. I mean, sometimes you have people with multiple hats, doing 3 or 4 jobs. The reality is that's never going to work effectively, because from time to time there is a conflict there. You cannot have someone leading a function and that same person governing the function, because it's like being the cat burglar and also being the policeman or woman at the same time. It's difficult to do that. The other one is where you have co-heads. I mean, sometimes co-heads are training wheels for the new person who's been developed to be led on their own down the track, but that's a short-term thing. It should be part of the succession planning process within your organization. Other times, it's a hang-up, historical hang-up. It stays there. It's a duplication of effort. It's a duplication of costs. And with co-heads, you often lose transparency around responsibility and accountability. From another point of view, we've also worked on regulatory restructuring of an organisation to meet local and global regulatory requirements. We've looked at it from a compliance perspective, internal control perspective, where we've had people working on both sides of the fence, and we've had to create a wall between the two to protect the integrity of the HR process. And of course, we've managed significant offshoring, nearshoring and outsourcing, and we've had to adapt the underlying organisational structure to meet those challenges. So look, we're happy to help any time. We've had extensive experience. It costs you nothing to have a chat and talk about it and see what you've got. It's the end of the year, a good opportunity for you to look forward into 2020 and beyond to determine what structure best suits you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. Click like if you like this video. Check out our website, drop us a line, and schedule your free, obligation-free HR walkthrough, where we can take you confidentially through your organisational HR over the phone or via video or in person, and see where we can help you and have you ask questions there and then. This is our last video for 2019. We'll be starting our new series early in January 2020. So for those celebrating Christmas, we wish you a very happy Christmas. For those not celebrating Christmas, we wish you a very happy holiday, a happy new year to all, and look forward to a successful week ahead and a successful 2020. Thank you for your time, and looking forward to working with you. Cheers.